Hi, and welcome to Early Retirement Roadmap, the show all about preparing for and thriving in early retirement. Did you know the average American thinks they need 1.8 million to retire, according to a recent Charles Schwab study? That sounds crazy, right? No wonder it feels like retirement is so far out of reach. And maybe you've been wondering how some people your age are already pulling it off while you're still grinding away. Stick around because today I'm going to talk about why it feels like everyone is retiring before you and why you might actually be a lot closer to retiring than you think. Plus, I'll share 5 powerful strategies that could fast track your own early retirement. And at the end, I'll show you one mindset shift that could completely change how you look at retirement and when you can do it. Before we continue, please know that what I'm about to share is based upon my own personal experience and research and is for educational purposes only. All right, so even people who've been doing all the right things, saving, investing, planning, still struggle with retirement confidence. There's often a huge gap between how people really are and how ready they feel. And that gap, it can unnecessarily delay retirement by years. For example, many people with healthy 401k balances, say around 650,000 in their 50s, they still feel anxious. You'd think they'd feel confident, but they don't, because in reality, 650,000 is really good in comparison with the average. According to Fidelity, as of December 31st, 2024, the average 401k balance for people in their 50s is between $200,000 to $245,000. But people with more than that, like 650, instead of feeling secure, these savers tell themselves, I don't think I have enough. I probably need 2 or 3 times that amount. But where do they get these numbers? Honestly, usually it's from nowhere. They're just made up moving targets that never feel close enough. No wonder why so many people feel stuck. After all, most Americans think they need millions to be able to retire when the average savings they have is only a fraction of that. But today I'm here to tell you retirement isn't about hitting some giant random number. It's about having a plan, actually crunching your real numbers, and realizing you might be a lot closer than you think. Why does it feel like everyone is retiring before you? Let's look at the reasons. First, we chase imaginary numbers. We keep thinking just a little more will make us feel ready, but it never does. You keep saving and working, but you also keep missing out on the freedom and energy you could have enjoyed retiring earlier. And the worst part, there's just no real logic to it. It's all psychological. There's comfort in thinking, if I just save 100K, I'll finally feel ready. But when you hit that next milestone, guess what? Now you want 100K more. It's just a moving trap. That's why someone with 750,000 thinks they need 1.5 million, and someone with 1.5 million thinks they need 3 million. It never ends. The second reason is similar. It's the one more year syndrome. You tell yourself just 1 more year, then I'll retire. But then that 1 year turns into 5. And before you know it, you've given up some of your healthiest and most active retirement years. And you can never get that time back. And for many, it becomes their biggest regret. So when you see people retiring before you, even if you think there's no way they saved more than I did, here's how they're doing it. They stopped chasing imaginary numbers. They broke free from the 1 more year syndrome, and they actually sat down and crunched the real numbers. And when they did, they realized they were already there. If what I'm saying resonates with you, you might be closer to early retirement too, much more than you realize. Here are 5 strategies to help you break free. The first is knowing your real spending needs. Figuring out if you can retire isn't about replacing 100% of your current income. It's about what you actually spend. When you retire, you're not saving for retirement anymore. You may not have much debt and your taxes may drop. So take a hard look at your spending and analyze at least 3 to 6 months of bank and credit card statements. And, if you need help with that, use a budgeting app like Mint.com, which is totally free. This will help tell you the real story and give you an actual number to plan for. The second strategy is account for your guaranteed income. Don't underestimate income streams like Social Security or pensions. They are much more powerful than you might think. Knowing what's guaranteed income reduces the pressure on your investments. And that's a critical piece of building real confidence. Third, build a safe money reserve. Make sure you have safer assets, CDs, bonds, a high-yield savings account, so you can avoid pulling from volatile investments when markets crash. This protects you against something called sequence of returns risk, which is a silent killer of retirement plans. And by the way, I have a whole episode that covers this in detail. It's episode 6, the one retirement mistake that could ruin you. So make sure you listen to that one. Strategy number 4 is stress test your plan. Use software like Bolden.com to run retirement scenarios. Then work with a financial planner to validate it. Running Monte Carlo simulations, which the software can do, will show you how your portfolio performs under different conditions like bear market, inflation spikes, and higher healthcare costs. And if you come out strong, even in those tough scenarios, think about how much confidence that will give you. The fifth strategy is redefine what retirement looks like. Retirement doesn't have to mean zero work. Maybe it's working part-time doing something you love. Maybe it's switching to a low-stress, flexible job. Maybe it's just one spouse retiring first. The point is, you get to design your own version of retirement. And when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. And it can bridge the gap to full retirement easier. So if you've ever thought, everyone else is retiring except me, know this, they aren't smarter. They didn't necessarily save more. They just got clear on their numbers and stopped chasing imaginary ones. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please leave a review and follow or subscribe and tune in for my weekly episodes. This really is the best show of appreciation you can give me. And when you're not on the go, check out my Early Retirement Roadmap YouTube channel or visit my website, mikeupland.com, for all my media, including my blog. And as I said, you may want to listen to episode 6, the one retirement mistake that could ruin you, that talks about in detail a sequence of returns risk. And then I also have episode 3, how much do you really need to retire, where I get into details on how you can figure out your retirement number and stop chasing those imaginary numbers. Until next time, take care and make the most of today.